If you're tired of waiting 60 or 90 days or more to get paid on your water damage claims, you're not alone. And this video is for you. Guys, in this video, we're going to be talking about different things that you can do to speed up the process of getting paid. Turns out adjusters drag their feet. They'll go on a freaking sabbatical and not return any calls. And today, I'm going to be giving you a handful of actionable things that you can do to speed up the process to get paid. Here's the deal. If you own a restoration company and you want to get paid faster, more quickly, this video is for you. Let's go. All right, guys, to give you a little context, this video is where I'm talking to a handful of my clients, just kind of answering some questions and whatnot. So do me a favor, hit the like and subscribe button, watch it to the end. Let me know, do you dig this content or do you want me to make some more studio content? Let's go. The scenario is we have an adjuster that doesn't want to play ball. They've got things they want. That's fair. The question is, can we get them to play ball? Can we get them to start engaging in a conversation and a dialogue, yes or no? If that answer is no, there's nothing else to be said. We have to go to the homeowner. If you don't go to the homeowner, then you're never going to get paid. But if you want to get paid, you're going to go to the homeowner. The homeowner then is either going to pay you or not pay you. And that's because they've either got the ability or don't have the ability. But if they have, regardless, if they don't pay you, are you going to accept that or not? And if the answer is no, then you're going to sue them. And once you start beginning the legal collections process, that is going to do this thing called light a fire under this thing called their ass. And then they're going to suddenly get on the horn and chew the ass of the adjuster. And then suddenly that dialogue begins and or the check arrives suddenly. Yeah, so how long do I wait? I would follow up. So if I turn it in on Monday, June 1st, like if I start a job on Monday, June 1st, I've usually got the estimate to my client. This is once you're doing things ideally. So let's just talk about an ideal scenario where you're running the claim control method and in the squeeze play. Monday, June 1st, you get started. Tuesday, the 2nd, or no later than Wednesday, the 3rd, our estimate and scope summary is to the client and sent and delivered. And we're sending email 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 4 days. So by the 6th of January, they've gotten multiple communications from us. Does that make sense? So is your question, what do I do after that? So you have to build a formal receivables process, number one. Build the process, number one. Communicate it to your team and your client, number two. Okay? So the way that I did this in practice was this. Once we submit our estimate or bill, we're going to do the work. Okay? We're going to send it to the customer. They need to submit it to the carrier. That's what the policy needs to be. We're also going to submit it to the carrier, and we're going to follow up. We'll follow up probably 3 times a week for the first 2 weeks. Hey guys, real quick, in case you didn't know, I help people just like you grow and scale your water damage restoration business. If you are interested in me helping you grow and scale your company, go to workwithshane.com. We hop on a 15-minute call to see if we're a good fit. Workwithshane.com. Now, let's go back to the video. Keep in mind, if it's possible that your estimate or your invoice can be submitted and in their inbox or on their desk, is it true or false it can sit there for 30 days before they look at it?
Probably.
Is it possible it could sit there for 60 days before they look at it?
Sure.
So the reality is they've either looked at it or they haven't. But you're now on a call with them. There's no reason why they can't click a button and look at it right now. Does that make sense? And maybe they've reviewed it, maybe they haven't. But in many, many cases, here's what I think mostly has happened. They've looked at it and set it back down, right? They've looked at it and set it back down. Because in a lot of times when I do get a hold of them, they do have a list of things that they want to talk about, but they're just not like, that conversation not happening. So I'm trying to get that conversation to happen, and I'm trying to get them to start talking about the estimate. And if they have problems with it, that's cool. Let's identify the problems, get all of them identified, quantify the problems, and is that dollar amount greater or less than 10% of the value of the project? If it's less than 10%, reduce it, close the bill, let's go. If it's over 10%, right, then you run the 10% play, tell them you can only do this amount. If you can close it today, can we do it? And so you're going to do that, and it's either going to work or it doesn't. Does that make sense? So I'm going to do that, and if that bill can sit there for 30 days or 60 days, at some point you're going to make contact with them and it moves the needle. At some point, you're going to make contact with them. They're going to open it and a conversation's going to begin. Okay. And the reason why I know this happens, if you think about this, 30 days later, they're not going to randomly mail you a check. They're going to keep holding the money until you call them and you get them on the phone, and then a conversation begins and you arrive at an agreement. Does that make sense? That happens on a call. If that can happen on a call in 40 days, why can't it happen on day 4?
Because we're not building our estimates on day 4. Once we get done with the job, we'll figure out how much.
Okay.
And that's the whole
problem. So let me say that differently. Once you've turned the estimate in and they've got it, why can't you get on a call that next day? They don't know how long it's been sitting over there, and nor do they care in many cases. Does that make sense? You've got them on the horn, you got them on the phone, and they hit a button and they're going to look at it and they're either going to broker a deal or not. They never say, let me study this thing. It's typically, let's look at it, and they're going to know real quick. It doesn't take long to read something, right? When they mail you back all the things that are wrong with it, how long does it take you to read that and formulate an opinion? A minute, 5 minutes? So why can't that be true for them too? It is. Same thing. Hell, it's even better because they know less about your job. They've never been there. They literally have little to no context on why they should be arguing it anyway. They just do. You know? They don't know this project. Maybe not for 2 of you guys because you're new, but Tanner, you've been doing this a while, right? Tanner's been doing this a while.
Yo, what up? Yeah, 9 years.
Is it not possible you submit a bill and you grossly undercharge because you forget stuff about it? Like they're getting a huge break financially because you screwed up, but they're still bitching about the price. They could be getting a hell of a deal and they're still going to be finding hell of a problems with your invoice. And they're doing that because that's the game they play. Does that make sense? I call them on day 4, day 5. After I've submitted it, I begin the follow-up process and try and get the conversation going. That's what I do. Does that make sense? And if they say I haven't looked at it, and say, well, can you look at it now? And if they can't look at it now, I'm like, well, when can you look at it? All this is happening. Boom, boom, boom. Question 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm putting them in a corner and I want to answer. And I'm not going to wait over a week. Does that make sense? Now, our typical process is we submit it and this is what we tell our client, man, we're going to do the work. We'll submit our scope summary. We'll go ahead and do the work. Okay. And our invoice is net 14 or net 15. That means once we've turned it in, after 2 weeks, it's due. That shouldn't be a problem. So literally, I'm just pausing. I'm not stopping. Ms. Jones, we're gonna do the work. We're gonna submit it, and then we're net 15. That means after 2 weeks, the bill is due. Now that should not be a problem. You'll see how I paused there. That was like a 3-second pause. The reason why, and so we're going to put that pause there because we keep going and we're going to say, man, that shouldn't be a problem. Your adjuster will have already been out here. You're more than likely already going to get some funds for your recon by that point. In many cases, they can close everything out in about a week. So 2 weeks should be plenty of time. And that is true. True or false? They can get their recon check in a week.
I'm going to give it same day.
It is same day. They don't want to come back out there. And so why is it that it's easier to get paid for work you haven't done than work you have done? Why couldn't he look at everything while he's there? He could, but they're not. So it's just a game. But we're explaining to Ms. Jones the fact, and we're telling her the truth. We're not lying to her. She's going to have funds in her hand within 10 days because she wants to get her house put back together. And so do we. Okay? So here's how it's going to work. We're going to do everything. We're going to submit it to you. I'm going to guide you through the process, Ms. Jones. I'm letting her know it's going to be okay. There's a plan. I'm going to guide her. That's what I'm telling her. We're going to do this. We're going to show her what to do. And then we'll follow up as well. Worst case scenario, we're net 15. Everything should be paid by then. Okay? In the event that it's not, it escalates from there. Okay? But hopefully it'll get paid in the first 15 days. And if it doesn't, it'll escalate. We give you another 7-day grace period before it escalates from there. So what I'm doing is I'm telling her there's a process. There's a time frame. It's enough time. And even if that doesn't happen, I'll show her what to do to escalate it next, because after that, there's a 7-day buffer. So net 15, then 7 days, call it net 14, because now we got 3 weeks, right? Net 14. So we got 2 weeks, and then there's another week after that. So when she's hearing all this on day 1 or 2, whenever you're talking to her, this all sounds okay. Nothing sounds crazy. Does that make sense? And then once we tell them that on day 1 or 2, then we remind them that on day 4 14, 21. Does that make sense? And then they will be better advocates to chew out the butt of the adjuster. Does that make sense? That's how this works. Now, because you're asking, Chad, how do you get paid? So I'm trying to share with you how you're going to empower your client, and then they're going to bark. Guys, if you didn't already know, the two biggest problems you're going to have in owning a restoration company are this. Number one, getting consistent water damage jobs coming in the door. Number two, getting paid what you're worth for those water damage jobs. For that reason, I'm addressing both those problems with these videos to my left or right. On one side, it's about getting jobs. On the other side, it's about getting paid. Go over there, click the link. I'll see you in the next video.